So before we begin the show proper tonight, I just wanted to share something with all of you out there. I we have gotten the list of all of the Pokemon from throughout history that are going to be in the next game, and I gotta say, I am extremely disappointed with the selection here. I mean, look at all of the fan favorites that have been cut here. The legendary birds, Palkia's been cut, Darkrai. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. All right, so you may notice something's a little bit different about my layout tonight. The big thing is, I still have no beard and there is no webcam. The reason there is no webcam, I could probably turn it back on here for just a moment. I'm going to turn off the computer display itself first so that you can actually... I'm going to get rid of my stopgap there in the corner so that you can see what I'm dealing with here. So basically the way my new microphone works is the only way I can get... It has much better audio quality than my last microphone. Everything sounds a lot crisper, a lot cleaner, just a lot better. The problem is I have to be right in front of it for it to capture my mouth properly. And if my webcam was set back where it normally was... Do you see the problem?
Hello, Wilson.
How do you do, neighbor?
Oh my.
So, yeah, that's why we now have Sailor Moon throwing pizza at you instead of my actual face.
Fnu,
Yes. What's going on?
double check your input.
My input?
Yeah,
What do you mean input?
you sound kind of fuzzy.
Me?
Yes, you.
Well, let's see.
Your headset might have tried to take over again.
Uh-oh. Oh, come back here. This mic is precariously perched on top of a... Okay, settings. Audio. Line in Scarlet Solo. So OBS is fine, but if it's sounding weird to you guys... Line in Scarlet Solo. No, like, my mic is set up just fine.
Okay, must just be me.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you pointing out a potential technical problem. We're known for those around here.
Yeah, no, you sound
No.
funny.
What?
Also, really quickly, before I forget, I need to put on some music in the background so that we don't just have crushing silence the whole time.
Mm.
Can you still hear them, Fnu?
This is going to be loud for a second.
Screaming the lambs.
My favorite is a quote. I've mentioned it before, but it's a quote from a browser-based game called Fallen London. Remove the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remove the wind from the night, and you will have silence. Remove the silence, and you will have this. It's an item description for something. I know it's not Primordial Whispers. That's something completely different. It's like another level above that item.
Interesting.
Okay, so... Quick shout-outs to everybody who showed up here early before the stream really began. Of course, my two co-hosts, Icicle C. Cold, as
Hey.
well as the Potate, and also the
Greetings.
people in the chat, Pillow Sledder, Blue Javelin, and Chat Giraffe. Why are you only destroying my right ear? You know, I was noticing there was something weird about that in the audio here. Maybe if I move around the XLR cable itself, something will be done about that, perhaps? No. So why, oh why? Let's hop into the advanced audio properties and see if I can fix that. Mike. I don't believe me adjusting the balance between... Oh dear.
Did that make a noise?
Yes, it did. And I hope the, let me actually test that really quick before we get too far into tonight's stream. I want to do a quick run of one of my alerts just so I can see it in real time. Where is my layout? They've added so many things to Stream Elements over the years that it gets really hard to keep track of it all sometimes.
Wow.
Go to the overlay editor. Here we go. Here's where the actual test can be performed. Tonight's a little bit of a beta testing for all of the new features. I have Unity open now, and I've updated it to the latest version as well. It gave me a whole bunch... Like, it assures you on the website that, yeah, all of the games you developed before are going to be stable on these new versions. But it still gives you a little pop-up being like, you know, some things might not transfer over 100%, so it's like, what's the right thing to do here?
The right thing to do.
Blood sacrifice.
I was thinking cluck like a chicken and hop on one foot going counterclockwise, but that works too.
All right.
It's the same thing, basically.
Let's emulate a follower event here and see if that works. It's a little small, and also I'm getting an echo on that, but it works.
I imagine you're getting an echo on that.
Yeah, because it's basically playing in two different places. I forgot to mute it there. I'll go back to chat commands for now. Let me bump up the size of that just a little bit. And that'll probably fix it. Did you check out that link? Was it helpful in any way? I mean, we'll find out tonight. I'm trying to get myself used to just using Unity in general. I unfortunately, one thing I did not do is all of the... Right, I also needed to fix my microphone as well. Need to figure out what was going on with why it was only picking up audio in one ear, why you're only hearing me in one. So, hang on, let me unplug this for just a moment. Or, wait, hang on a minute.
You've probably got it set to stereo.
Oh dear. Hold on, I should probably give the proper shoutouts to everybody here. Also, why is it the standard alert instead of the actual one I was supposed to set up? Nothing is working tonight. Hey, Dark Lord, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Subscribed at Tier 2 for 27 freaking months.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you for being here, man. Now, allow me to fix the problem of... So, this should only be affecting the volume of my voice right now.
Correct.
Makes this odd. Very odd. Why is it only being heard in one ear? Why am I only getting one audio channel here in OBS? Advanced audio properties, so... Let's do some basic troubleshooting with the mic here. So there is no setting on... So coming backwards from the computer to here, let's try the first and most obvious solution, is that there's something wrong with the connection between my Scarlett and the computer itself. So let me go unplug that first before I do anything else. Let me just power cycle everything and see if it fixes itself somewhere along the way. That's the first step. BRB. Try not to be too funny without me.
Man, I wish I had something clever to say. You ever fart so hard you feel like you need to talk to a priest?
No?
Like you let one rip and you're just like, oh man, I gotta get right with God.
No?
Cool,
No,
just me
no.
then, alright.
I mean, I usually feel immensely better after farting, especially if I fart that big.
Still nothing. Only one.
Although, I did try sniffing coke once.
That's a hell of a
I
thing to
stopped
come
because
back
the
in
ice
on.
cubes kept getting stuck in my nose.
I had a splinter once. I was
Yeah?
fine with it, but eventually it got out of hand.
Oh boy.
I apologize for the audio, like, bloops that are going to be happening while I try to fix this. All right,
Knock, knock.
I have unplugged
Who's there?
through.
Knock, knock.
I have my own religion, thank you.
Knock, knock.
I'm calling the police.
For Pete's sake, open the door. My hand hurts and I left the key inside.
Does this fix it, I wonder?
It sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem.
Does my voice sound any
Although,
better now that I've
I've
done
never
that?
locked myself out of the house in the stupidest way possible.
What, you mean,
It's the stupidest way possible.
as I understand it, it's having your key on a lanyard?
You have your keys on a lanyard, and you have the lanyard hanging around the doorknob after you've unlocked the door. And the doors swing shut, and the keys are on the inside of the door, and the lanyard's around the outside of the doorknob. So you've literally shut your keys in your house,
That
and the
happened.
lanyard's hanging on the outside of the door.
Seneca was telling me about that. That happened to her while she was living at her old place, and she she was just standing there for like a solid 5 seconds, staring at it as her brain tries to process what just happened.
I had a fun call at my job today.
You're a bit
Yeah?
quieter now, Fnu?
Yep. I don't know how I managed to not laugh.
All right, tell you what, guys. I'm going to try something a little bit different.
What
I'm
happened?
going to
Apparently, she changed her password yesterday and called again today to change her password again because she's already forgotten about it.
Man, I do that all the time. It's a function of ADD.
maybe if I move it off of
It is, but at the
that?
same time, these people run our government.
Okay,
Man.
so
A
It
part of
does
me
be a
wanted to just be
concern.
pointlessly obstinate about it. But I opted not to. Some people are just dumb. Some people are just not computer literate. There
And
are different
it's-
forms of intelligence.
A concerning amount of them work for the government and use a
Ah,
computer every day to do their job.
well, sure, but they just know how to do their job.
Yep.
so
They know they
here's-
click this button, and they click here, and they type this, and they click that, and it does the thing and makes it go.
Okay, I hate to
If
interrupt.
any part of that gets interrupted, they completely derail and have no idea what to do, and it's just sad.
May I speak?
And they run our government.
Hello? Oh, they can't hear me. Okay, that's the problem. Hi, can you guys hear me now?
Nah, man.
Okay, so basically, I don't know what's going on. So I have a hint at what's happening with this.
Yes.
So when I did a small test there, basically using the microphone that's on my headset as opposed to the microphone that's in front of me for just a moment. When I swap it over to that microphone, I'm getting audio, but it's on one track. It doesn't try to split it into a stereo track for whatever reason.
Odd.
Let me try messing around with the different settings on my mic here. Okay, if I swap it to an all-around mic, it still doesn't give me all-around audio. If I switch it to figure 8 mode, it's still only one track. That's so odd. It's trying to split it into a stereo track, but it's only realizing that there's audio on one. All right, well, this is why this is why society invented Google. So
I thought two guys in a garage invented Google.
okay, so what's the name of this mic again? Let me grab the box so that I can check the
He was really super excited about getting this mic, and he said the name a bunch of times, and it was something like
I don't
Phantom.
think it's ever taken me this long to figure out a production issue before. Oh, man.
New gear, bro.
Yeah, no kidding, right? This is just downright... Like, I'm past the shame now of this happening live and during a show. It's like, it sucks, yes, but I'm not getting the hot flashes of embarrassment that I used to. It's just something that happens.
Hey, welcome to the stream, Sephiroth.
Hey, welcome, welcome. I love it too. That's why I'm using it in place of my webcam for a while. Well, that and the fact that I have a giant thing of steel and all kinds of it. Sup, Mr. Black? Subscribe to Tier 3 for 25 months.
Woo!
Oh, it's going really good over here. You know, except for the fact that you're only getting me in one ear, unfortunately. I mean, it makes sense. I've been gone for like a week and a half, Giraffe, so this is a perfect opportunity for everybody who was going to come back in. And it's like you can resub when somebody's not online, but you want them to see it. Yeah, it's no fun. So why not, right? Okay, so WA 47 Junior. I'm going to plug that into Google as well as OBS and see what comes up.
Hey, did you know that my department at work supports an app known colloquially as IBS?
Man, that sure was a decision someone made.
It was a decision someone made. It is a decision all of us find very entertaining, especially with how often that stupid thing breaks.
Okay, so this is from 2014, but hey everyone, I have a little problem with OBS. When I broadcast on Twitch, the audio from my mic only comes out the left speaker or headphone. In audio settings. So
Twitch setting?
hold on. General audio devices, advanced hotkeys. Oh, this is why I'm worried. This might be a feature that's been phased out over time.
Huh?
There is a way to force mic audio to only come out on mono.
Yeah?
Instead of
Stereo?
Instead of stereo. But I don't know if it's even in here, or if it's one of those things that they disable once you go live. Monitoring device. Hang on a second. Where is this? Check force microphone / auxiliary to mono in the audio settings. That should fix it. Hotkeys, video. Well, I'm in the audio settings. Sample rate, channels, mic auxiliary audio 1. Meters.
Ooh, my stomach just growled. I should probably grab something. I'll be right back after I stuff my face. Won't take me more than 5 minutes.
That's why I have something on my checklist. That's just grab water and a snack. Did I tell you guys I'm going back on the attempt to cut all of the sugar out of my diet?
Man, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, so do I. It did not go well last time, although I've done some more research this time around. And I've figured out that I did not give myself nearly enough time. I was only miserable for about a week. Some people say it takes about a month, 2 months, but honestly, it's different for everybody. Everybody takes different amounts of time. But the results you get afterward are worth it. You'll get years and years of benefits if you stick to your diet for long enough. If it's a good diet, anyway. I just figure cutting out sugar is a good thing to do because that's, like, pretty much every single diet in the universe. Like, everybody universally agrees that that's a good thing. Just cut out all of the processed crap.
Yeah. Too bad it tastes so good.
It's also one of the worst possible things you can expose your teeth to. A pro tip if you want to take care of your teeth, try to limit, if you're going to drink something like a soda or whatnot, drink it all in one sitting. Like, don't sip it all throughout over the course of an hour or anything. It's not the amount of stuff that your teeth are exposed to, it's the amount of time it's exposed to it. That was kind of a shocking revelation.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's like on the wall of every dentist office ever. In some way, shape, or form, it's on like every dentist office wall. It's like sip all day, get tooth decay. There's a clock with different cans of different sodas on it. There's like a chart, whatever. I've seen that in like every dentist office I've been to.
Who, me, Mr. Black? Or, like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, you sound like you're gonna die when you do that.
When I do what? Oh, just when I make noises?
Yep.
You should stop doing that.
But yeah, no. You, Potate, sound stinking exhausted. Like, run over by a tank and backed up to see what they ran over levels of exhausted.
I've been working a 58-hour work week for the past 3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
And I got food poisoning Sunday.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You've been having a rough time of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wait. Wait. I think. Did I fix it? No. Ah!
So, you there in audience,
Wait.
You guys too much. It's only coming through one ear.
I think I fixed it. I think I did it.
Did he?
Can you guys hear me? It says I did in OBS. Come on. All I need is confirmation from the chat. Are you hearing me in both ears now? Sounds better to me. I think so. I'm gonna go with it. You're good? Yes? Cool. We can actually start the real stream now.
Excellent.
Oh, what a concept, right? Welcome to Whatthefnu's channel, everybody. This is the level of quality you could expect. Alright, so last time we left off. So this is what we were looking at before, is just a blank beginning in Unity, and we were starting to learn how to put everything together. We downloaded a bunch of resources that, God, you'd think with a whole week in between streams, you'd think I'd find the time somewhere along the line. I need to really sit down and analyze my process one of these days. The time I spend actually... Because I said my homework before was to take the background and not even make an engine yet, just to arrange everything so that it sort of looked like a very rough mock-up with placeholder assets. I should probably open up that profile too. Hey, give me a second while I type in my login information into the Unity website.
Yep. Best hide that.
Unity, where's the Unity asset store? One thing that bugs me about DuckDuckGo is it kind of decides whatever it wants to use autocomplete fields. So a lot of times I just have to type in the whole thing. Annoying, but not a deal breaker, considering all of the other benefits they give me. There we go.
That reminds me. Did you get the soundboard working with clownfish?
Soundboard.
Yeah,
I'm not
the clownfish soundboard that I gave you. I showed you. Yeah, that one.
I'm trying to. Oh, right. You can see what I'm doing. You ain't slick.
Yeah.
I was just gonna bust in the call and be like, I'd have no idea what you're talking about.
I was talking about the soundboard bit of it, but that's always fun too.
But yeah, I do have this whole thing. I could play around with it if you want. I could say. What are some of these? What are some
Robot.
of these here? Robot, radio, helium pitch. Wait a second, but I already have a male pitch. If I hit this, is it just gonna?
Go for it.
Am I just gonna be backed up by an instrumental? Like, let's get it on.
Try it.
All right, we'll play around with that another time, though.
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't?
No, but that's because I'm in Discord, not on the stream. Because the stream has about a second and a half bit of lag.
I mean, it was working over Discord before, so.
Ah.
All right, well, that's really not what we're here to do tonight. Tonight, we are going to... My work needs to be twofold. I need to open up my watch later, because somewhere in that list... Somewhere in this list, we have a whole bunch of tutorials about how to do Unity stuff and how to plug all of these assets into the program to begin with.
You didn't just make a separate list for that?
No, and I probably should have.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, scroll up past all of the Reddit stories, all of the Alpha Beta Gamer stuff. The Secret City. I have to go past that.
Oh, I love the Secret City!
Oh,
I got to meet him at Comic-Con last weekend.
Yeah, you told me about that. That's actually why he's on my list now.
Yeah, he signed my sketchbook.
Oh, it has been too long since I've done this. It is buried in there.
Here we are.
Yep. Looks like it.
More or less.
Or wait, did I not save his particular tutorial? Uh-oh.
You might. I mean, do you know who did it? Because then you could just go to their channel and look at their channel stuff.
It'll probably show up if I type in Unity. There it is, I think.
Hey, Fnu.
Yes?
Just briefly, check the Shindankness channel.
Is this something I'm gonna have to turn off the...
No?
I'm gonna be safe and just turn off.
But someone does appear to be spamming.
Uh-oh.
All right, everybody, it's time to get those imaginations revved up and ready to work.
Yep. I'm taking care of it. Yep. All right, anyway. Now that we have that taken care of. Crisis averted. Huh? What? Nothing happened.
So we'll go Window, we'll go under General and select the Asset Store. You can also press Control 9. We'll then navigate to...
Basically now I'm just watching this guy to try and figure out how to actually follow along in my own project.
Download. I'm just going to get the
Meow.
platform game assets. It's right here, so we'll click on that. And once you find the asset, you can simply click this red button to first download and then import it. We'll then get this window where we can see all of the different assets that are included in the pack. And if there's something in particular that
Is there a way to add just one asset at a time, I wonder?
There is. I don't know what it is, though.
Services. My assets. There we go.
Oh boy.
All right, so what did we need to add first? We've got some backgrounds that we need to plug in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's open this in Unity. Right, and it should just appear directly in our project now?
Well, let's open up that scenes folder and find out.
No, there's just a sample one in there.
Wait, go back to Unity.
Okay.
Assets. At the top there. File, edit, assets.
Yeah, assets includes the scenes folder here.
I know. Just go up there. Humor me.
All right. I'm double clicking.
that you don't want, say you already have a character and don't need this one.
Gosh, it seems like I
uncheck.
just did this
But
2
I'd
weeks
like
ago,
to
and I know I
import
can't
everything,
remember
so
anything.
Yeah, you and me both.
hit import. This one is called
No,
File
I mean, I
Phoenix,
tried to make my own avatar model for VR chat, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, at all.
Your best.
I have completely lost all skill that I ever possessed with 3D modeling.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. What am I missing?
I'm not sure you're doing anything wrong. Is there a way to refresh your assets?
I have no idea. It should just be there. Assets. Okay. Import new asset.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Well,
there's a refresh option right there in
There.
that list you were just in.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. So if you close out of that and go assets, there's refresh right there.
Well, I clicked it and it's still not showing up.
Okay, so I guess we have to import them.
Okay, so the button open in Unity should let me open in Unity, right?
One would think.
Unity editor specifically is what we have to work with here. So this is Unity. Assets. No, not create.
Import package.
Custom package. It's interesting because in the video that this guy's got here, he went to the Unity store inside Unity itself. Now, how did he do that?
It's one of the options along the top.
We'll then navigate to the package that we want to download.
Wait a second. How did he do that? Hold up.
I don't know. Let me open Unity.
So press Control 9. The way that we do this is by opening up the Asset Store window. So we'll go Window, we'll go under General, and select
General.
the Asset Store.
Window General Asset Store. Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's more to work with here. Okay, here we go. Asset Store. Maybe if we do it this way, we do it directly from within the program, then it will work properly.
Prepare for porn.
Also, I love how they went to great lengths inside the program itself to make the UI look more like the Apple Store. They know what they want people to be using the program in. I don't get it. I've never understood the appeal of Apple products.
Uh,
Me neither.
honest answer, they're basic computers that you can do whatever, well, that will do whatever job you've set them to, usually with a specific subset of support and a relatively low failure rate. But more than that, it's a status thing.
Hmm.
Well, at this point, it's a status thing.
I
Aha.
mean,
Aha.
I understand not wanting to sort through Windows OS sometimes.
I like my Windows OS.
Oh no, it's great. But
But
it's also
there's a
a
lot
learning
to it.
curve. Yeah.
There
There's
is a whole lot to it.
there's a learning curve.
Example night. Oh, I see. Oh, they separated everything in this. So it's not just a flat picture. They want me to assemble everything. So they've given me the skybox to work with. But on top of that, they've also given me the mountains. They've also given me some more mountains if I want to add a little bit of depth to the scene itself. And the funny thing about this is, like, even though these aren't my assets, we're still getting into the idea of just outside the borders, just outside of what you can actually see via the camera. Everything, everything is awful, and it's breaking off into pieces. It's not a full mountain. This is giving me flashbacks to the story about the Halo 2 demo that they showed off at E3 for the first time. That demo was they had to rehearse that over and over and over again because the build was so unstable. If you did anything even close to being off of the path, the entire thing would just break.
Wow, that's just sad. Well, that's what happens when you rush game developers.
Yeah.
Well, how about
You
that?
can't rush perfection
Look at that.
because
That looks downright pleasant. If we look at it from what you'd be seeing in the game, that's what the background would look like. That's what you'd be seeing if we were running this.
Nice.
So that's one asset added in.
Anyway, did you figure out that you go to Window and then Asset Store?
Yes, I've already figured that out. I've got a tab open for Asset Store now as well. I appreciate
cool.
I appreciate the help.
No, I actually opened up my Unity editor that I've never done anything at all with and probably never will. I don't know why I bothered.
Hey, you had it. It might be useful for something. Although if you're not using it initially. So here's our rough that we were going with.
What's a gizmo?
What's that?
Gizmos.
I don't know. Let's learn together. Look at you, Bob Ross. I actually, before we do anything else, let me play around with all of this. So is there a layering? Order in layer. Let me click around on a lot of these assets. So how does it automatically know that this is supposed to go in front of everything else? If I go to the assets, like what's in the scene that I've got here?
Okay, you see the order they're in that list up there under sample scene?
So let's say I were to drag that back there. No, it's still in front of the skybox. So that has nothing to do with it.
Right click.
No, that just moves the camera. Or not the camera, my viewfinder. Oh my goodness, this is going to be really hard to explain to people as I'm going. There's so many different terms. Also. Pardon you.
Chickeny.
I don't remember eating that. All right, what changes in between all of these besides the...
There's a layers button over here.
There is an ordering in layer. Layer, like,
Click on that
default...
cloud back there.
Layer... Oh, I think that might be something completely different. There's default, transparent effects, and I don't even know what any of those mean, so I'm just not going to mess with it.
You can probably create and name your own layers.
Perhaps.
Sorting layer.
Sorting layer, default.
Yeah, it's under draw mode.
There's only one option there, and it's default.
Okay, we'll add a sorting layer.
Let's let me mess around with that variable right there. Order in layer 1. Or if I were to say, aha!
Aha!
It seems like I might be brute forcing this, because look at this. Every object, that's the first thing I caught with my eyes, but everything just has an order in layer of 0. So somehow the program just knows that all of these are supposed to be in front of each other. I'm wondering if I'm brute forcing it by doing that.
I had a thought.
Go ahead.
So, it just automatically puts it on top. Put down a tree.
Okay. I don't think I have any, actually.
Okay, then put down something else.
Let's
Just
see.
Find an object, put it down.
I'm dragging a cloud in here from the evening set, and it's already behind the mountains and everything.
Okay.
So new assets are not immediately placed on top, it seems.
So something about cloud assets makes them automatically be placed behind everything else.
I can't help but wonder if maybe there's some scripting attached to these.
Maybe. I mean, I can't think of any other reason that it would do that.
This doesn't ultimately matter. I'm just trying to understand why it works on my own time, so that I can figure out how to replicate it when the time comes. But anyway, we've got a whole bunch of other assets to plug into this thing.
But like I said, there's a layers button. Have we clicked on the layers button over there on the right side yet?
The one... Oh, this one.
Tippy top, up there. Up, 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 up. That one.
Everything, nothing, default... Yeah, it's the...
It's the
Edit.
same menu. Ah, edit layers. How do you...
I'll worry about it another time. Because we've spent a lot of time on this. Next, what next? I need to add the actual characters into this. I need the characters and the enemy they're facing. That's funny. Out of all the things that I decided to download, I have... Oh, right. I was just going to have them all be the same thing.
Yep.
It didn't need to be different assets at the moment.
Nope.
I'm gonna... I suppose I can import all of these. I'm gonna have to remember to scrub all of these out of the finished product when I'm done. I don't want them lingering around in the code and causing problems.
Well, lingering in the code is fine. It's causing problems that we don't want.
Okay, specifically, I need some sprites. Jump. Let's go with standing here. Now, uh-oh. Why is it asking me to create a new animation? Assets.
Just save an animation. It's fine.
Okay. Assets.
Maybe just save it in here.
Test?
Yeah, test.
Anim? I'm going to set your order in the layer to 2 so that you're on top of everything. Good. Now, how do I get the specific sprite I'm looking for is the question. Because this is the character looking up and to the right. I need the character looking up and to the left.
Flip X.
Well, I mean, it's a...
Checkbox under sprite renderer.
Well, let me show you what I'm looking at here, basically. So this whole, a few full details. So this whole sprite sheet is basically a character looking in a bunch of different directions. So how do I choose the specific one I'm looking for?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but they're all facing basically to the left. So what you need to do is use the flip X or flip Y button once you've clicked on your little sprite.
All right.
Click
Again,
on your sprite, dude, and flip X under sprite renderer.
Oh.
No, checkboxes. Yes, there you go.
Bear in mind, you are a little bit behind me.
I am a little bit behind you, yes, but I have lots of experience when it comes to flipping X and Y, Z coordinates because I spend way too much time decorating my Skyrim houses. And I do it in Photoshop a lot too.
Again, this is looking really rough, but just like creating this basic skeleton to play around with, and we could just replace all of this stuff later, is going to save me a lot of time in the future. This is the really exciting part of game design where nothing looks good.
Looking good comes later. Getting it functional comes first.
Exactly. Fail faster.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, uh-oh. Now I have to figure it out, because watch what happens when I press...
Okay, you're going to need a different sprite now. So, delete that one.
Well, let's look back again, see? There is actually a sprite of the character looking forward, but when I go in here... Wait a minute! I was trying to drag the whole sheet. I get it. I get it.
Oh, wait, on the, when you were... What are you doing? I have no idea what you're doing.
See what I'm getting at?
It's best.
That's why it wanted you to choose an animation. Okay.
Yeah, it's only one sprite as opposed to all of them together. If you try to import a full sprite sheet... If you try to
by the
import...
way.
What's up?
Nah, never mind. You got it.
Yeah, if you try to import a full sprite sheet, it seems Unity will recognize that, and they'll just try to tie all of the sprites together into a full animation. Or maybe there's something you have to do in the program itself for it to work like that.
Ah.
Meanwhile,
it does show us a preview over here on the lower right of which one we are looking at. So that's nice.
I actually want all of... This guy should be layer 2, and all of these guys should be layer 3, because it's the player party, so they should be on top of the enemy. I don't want any of their animations ending up behind the foe's sprite when it's supposed to be a visual effect for the player to follow.
True. And that would mean that you have to put your UI on layers 4, 5, and 6. Respectively.
Yeah. So if we go to the game view here, again, rough, but it sort of looks like the... kind of looks like what we came up with here.
Well,
I'm
Yeah.
you. You're me. We must kung fu fight.
Yay! Everybody was kung fu fighting.
All right, what's next? We need the UI. We need the little character portrait in the corner, along with their name and the HP values and all of that. So next on the docket, right, custom character 2D, volume 1. I think that's what we were looking for.
Base.
Yeah. This way we can create a different portrait for the different characters.
I thought that was the 2D animate girl thing. Yeah, doesn't matter.
You are indeed correct, I believe. Oh, I had both of them because I wanted to see which one I liked more. I remember now.
I'm very sorry, but after having sat here for an hour in total silence, I've come to the realization that I probably shouldn't be co-hosting.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna hop off.
It's okay.
Aw.
Thanks for
But-
being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for letting me. I'll try and hop in another time. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Good night, Potate.
Night.
Maybe I can smush this just a little bit so that I can actually read the list of effect,
Things.
face option.
Face and face options look like what we
Oh,
want.
glasses. That's hair. Different types to work with for the portrait itself. I wonder if there's a way to scale it.
Probably. Drop one on there.
Yeah, let's play around with that for a second. Yeah, there's actually some little boxes there.
Okay.
Don't mind me. Behold!
Super Saiyan!
Do you remember that preview video a long time ago that 4Kids did? That little block. They had a block of, they were doing Yu-Gi-Oh episodes back to back.
Yeah, I remember.
Twice the cards, twice the duels, twice the hair,
Yep.
and
I grew
Yugi just comes out with his hair like the even more ridiculous than usual. It just yells, "Behold!"
Ah, yes.
Funny thing about this. Huh? So, I have a face to work with here. Can I
Ooh, look at those awesome belts.
can I add anything to it?
Better question, can you crop that?
Like only get the bit that I'm looking for?
Right. Because that thing is huge, and it would be better if we could crop that so you don't have, like, a whole entire body sticking off your game frame.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because I have seen quite a few games, Flash, Unity, and otherwise, that are 2D, and that have tons of crap sticking off the sides.
Let me view the full details of this again. Hold on a minute. Oh. Oh, we have a small problem with this.
Yep.
So this is only for male characters?
Well, that makes a small problem, yes.
There is one that looks kind of feminine if I go with the smooth blonde hair.
Yeah, but at the same time, none of them have boobs. That's, kind of a significant part of being female, but then again, that depends on how much you want to show in the face box.
Pretty much the face box is just going to be a man. This is getting cramped, isn't it?
Yeah, so we could probably shrink that body a little more, yeah?
All right. Well, I have to. It seems I have no choice but to.
Shrink the body a little more.
Hold up.
And I think Unity has pop-out windows.
All right, hang on a second. I need to add this as a tab, it looks like. The hierarchy and the project things I can separate. I can give them the room they need to shine. Or not.
Oh, something just occurred to me.
What's up?
I can't call you the weirdo with the beardo anymore. Disappoint. I remember you were...
It bothers me a little bit, the fact that everybody just reacts that much to the beard, and I'm just like, I don't like having it anymore.
Yeah, now that you don't have it, you realize, wow, it doesn't itch, it doesn't catch on things, it doesn't get in the way.
Well, it's just I'm happier with myself without the facial hair.
Then keep it that way.
The only
We'll
reason
get used to it.
The only reason I was holding on to it was because everybody else was like, "Nah, you look better with it."
You're Fanu. I'll get used to it. We've come to recognize you as Fanu with a beard. It's gonna take us a little while to adapt to you being Fanu without a beard. It's just change and
Okay.
people adapting.
Okay.
You're still you, dude. You're still you.
Yeah, look at that. So this little hair thing is actually in front of both the clouds, but it's behind the mountain. There's got to be some other way to layer things that I'm just not aware of that doesn't use the order in layer aspect.
Mm.
So wait a second. If I've done this correct, Houston, we might.
There's over on your assets list, there's a hair front and a hair back.
Yeah. Oh, that's why it looks a little odd.
Yeah.
I see. Oh. Context sensitive, clever.
And then basically you pair the two together.
Yes, I see now. Ah. A little more well-rounded.
Yeah. I really do think that the animated girl face is going to work out better for us, though.
I mean,
But still.
I'll test them both and see how it goes.
I mean, if I were you, I'd just slap a smiley face right there for now, but, you know, that's just me.
And look, again, there's a couple different mouths to choose from, and it's making me select... right, we choose from the drop-down list. And that's how we get a... Wait. Drop-down. All of these... Ah, that's what I was missing!
What is it?
All of these have drop-down lists. So if you wanted a particular thing... you could get it. I keep forgetting that. I'm learning though. It's gonna help me out in the long run.
So I guess triangles to you are less significant than they are to me.
Triangles?
Yeah, see the triangles next to the drop-down list? Whenever I see a triangle facing like that, with the point going, one of the points facing directly either east or west, I immediately want to click on it because I know there's going to be a drop-down that's probably connected to it.
Well, it's just my first time messing around with the program, so I'm learning everything from complete scratch here.
Yeah, but the carrots are pretty universal.
It's...
I know. I know.
I'm a doof. I'm
Well,
I'm
yeah.
a little slow when it comes to these things. Like the first thing you have to understand about me is I'm perfectly literal. Everything means one thing to me, so I kind of just have to feel my way through it. I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to explain what it's like in my head, so you can explain why. Oh, so you understand why I make those kinds of mistakes.
You're feeling out an entirely new thing, and everything has to be poked, prodded, touched, tested, and otherwise messed around with before you can really understand it. Yes?
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. I need a border to go around this character's head now. I might actually be better off just building something myself at this rate.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself.
Because I know what I'm looking for. If they just don't have some sort of frame that I can put them in. And it's all going to be taken out later anyway, so I can make it like look as crude as I want it to.
Wait, go back up.
You're seeing little boxes here?
I saw a white box with a black border.
White block... What? Bleh, 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 bleh.
Yeah, that. I saw a white box with a black border. And there it is.
Let's put that on layer 3.
Make it lots bigger.
Okay, this is gonna be very... Yeah.
Like I said before, you're gonna want to shrink that character head like a lot. That character head needs to be maybe 50% of the size it is now.
It's also gonna be very weird to layer this out, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because the border itself needs to be in front of the character, but the background of the box needs to be behind them. That way it looks like they're not in front of the whole box, they're inside the box.
Okay. Well, right next to the white box with the black border, I saw a black border without the white box.
Okay.
But I have no idea where on the list you were.
I can find it again.
There's
There's a white box by itself. You know, I can build this myself.
okay.
Same way we built everything else. Just to open things up with paint.net and put some quick assets together. I love how when we actually started putting all of this together, my viewership just tanked.
Well, it was our ideas
people were willing to
aren't being
watch me.
contributed.
There were like 9 people who were willing to watch me fiddle around with my microphone until I figured out how to bump it up to a mono channel. But now that I'm actually getting into building the game, we're down to nobody.
Well, maybe, but you know, it's the whole point of there's the comedy value.
Don't mind me. I'm just being overly cynical and thinking about it too much again. I have a bad habit of that. Somebody give me some good advice when it comes to streaming and willpower. And this is actually something I learned from a Reddit thread too about basically the story. The prompt for everybody this time around was people who have dropped everything, bought a plane ticket, and started a new life. What's your story? How did it turn out for you, and where are you now?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one guy who responded with something along the lines of, he was a transient for the longest time. And a big part about it that sucks is all of the walking, because you don't have a car. It takes forever to get anywhere, because you're on foot the entire time.
Blech.
And so, he says, after a while, though, you get used to it. And the way he explained that is, it stops being something you have to do and just something you do. Which resonated incredibly strongly with some advice that Liam6 gave me, a guy we've rated a couple times. It's just after a while, streaming just, it requires a change in mindset. After a while, it's just something you do. So that's the way I tried to approach it tonight.
Well, isn't that interesting?
There's going to be some pretty bad artifacting on this thing, but again, like placeholder assets. Alright.
Paint.net seems to be a handy little tool. By the way, that's, you're actually gonna wanna cancel this before you save this,
Why?
because it's still got a black border.
I know, but it'll be hidden behind the actual black border, so...
Okay, whatevs. Just figured. Yeah, I'm just being an artist.
I know. But the way I'm looking at it, like, nobody will see it anyway, so...
Fair enough.
It'll be hidden in such a way that it will not be viewable by anybody.
Mm.
It's like, I know how you feel right now. It's like, you know it's there. I know it's there.
And it will drive us both nuts, but nobody else will know.
Alright, so... Assets. Import new asset. Games. Border alpha.
Where'd it go?
It's behind the background.
Maybe it would be easier to add the background after the fact.
Maybe.
I mean, it's beginning to look that way because the background's just getting in the way of everything at this point.
I mean, it's reminding me to actually use that feature, too, so it's not all bad.
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shrink down this character. Because even if I successfully build this menu here, there's not enough room left for...
anything else.
The text, yeah.
So, shrink by 50%. Which I believe you can actually do on the scale over there if you select the objects. So, select the object and then scale 0.5 on X, Y, and Z. Or you could do that.
Yeah. Your option's a little better.
It's certainly more precise.
I wonder what the Z does.
Height, usually.
Oh, I guess that's something that only applies... Right, that's something that only applies to 3D models. X and Y are the only ones that actually do anything when you're,
2D.
Yeah. I can actually make this 0.75, I think, and we'd still be good.
Fair enough.
Be a little closer to what I'm going for here.
Oh yeah, that works. Now, if only there were a way to select multiple and then scale them all.
I think there might be. Hold on, let me try this.
Do the ear next.
Somehow I magically managed to choose the entire face there.
Awesome.
Save for the ear.
And it didn't quite
Yeah, it didn't.
scale.
Yeah. Didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. I don't know. Like the giant ear.
ears!
The giant ear, it sort of gives them a monkey-like look.
I like it.
A little bit quirky.
Yeah.
It adds a little something something.
What that something is, we know not, but we like it.
Let me check what this looks like so far in the game itself. Just need to pull this up a smidge. Just a teeny bit. There we go. And if I really wanted to, I could just go into any of these and like fine-tune it to my heart's content, make sure it's exactly where I wanted it to be.
But these are placeholders, and we're not gonna do that, because it would take way too much time.
Okay, like, I know this is just all placeholder stuff, and we're just building something to sort of approximate the look of what the game is gonna be, but still, I cannot describe the feeling of joy of like, oh, this is happening. I'm actually building something here.
That giddy, super happy, inexplicably joyous feeling of seeing it come together even when it's, it's really not.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. It's that stupid happy feeling I get when I'm shading. Speaking of which, do you know the shading song?
The shading song. I don't think I do, no.
Shade, shade, shade. Shade, shade, shade.
Is there something I don't understand about this?
Nah, it's a Mark Kistler Imagination Station thing.
Ah, okay.
To this day, whether I realize it or not, when I shade, I hum that.
That's kind of awesome.
Well, when you grow up, and every time you're shading something, you hear that. Kind of ingrains itself. Okay, looks good.
Yeah. We have that little border in the corner now.
Nasu. Yosh.
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 As
Yosh,
Eggman
yosh,
would
yosh.
say. So,
Okay, so we've got our mock-up.
sort of.
Well,
I also need text to work
Who's that?
with.
Who has invaded?
Hey, babe. Hey, hey, Icicle.
How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up?
We are building a mock-up of the game.
How's that going?
I don't
So
know,
far-
Fnu.
So far, it's I have experienced that initial feeling of, oh, it's sort of coming together, even though these are all placeholder assets.
Hey, that happens.
And it looks nice so far.
Remember that's what the N64 team had to do for with MIPS and stuff for Mario 64.
Yeah.
With what?
Mips the rabbit, the little thing you chase around in the basement.
Oh, I hated that thing.
Was Mips a placeholder in the beginning?
Yep, he was Mario.
Huh.
That's what they used. They created him to test surfaces and stuff.
Okay, so considering that story, there has to be something out there now. There has to be some sort of hack out there that somebody's made where you play as Mips.
Kaze, get on it.
Well, it's literally as simple as substituting the model file you want to use as Mario. I mean, you could play as a sign if you want to.
I wonder now, how do I introduce text into this?
Well, let's see.
Alright, so this is how you text. Get your
Font
phone up.
size, rendering mode, character, imported object, Jazz create bubble. So, I'm guessing just on a whim here that you drag a create bubble in, and then you can type in it.
All right. Jazz create bubble.
Yeah.
It's not letting me.
It won't let you drag that in?
Nope.
Dang, that's a lot to read. What is that?
Oh, it's a conspiracy, I tell you. Sorry.
Okay.
Create font.
Alright, well, I'm gonna bugger off until about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Aw.
Have a good time
So I
at
gotta
work.
Yep.
See ya.
Alright, I'll be back then to ruin the stream by saying the F. The fuck.
And then Kelly came in and said the fuck word.
Okay, so somehow
I
we
love a little
type-
bit of the chaos that other people add to these streams, I'm not gonna lie. Keeps me sane while I'm desperately bashing my head against this code trying to get it to work.
Welcome to life as a programmer. Have I ever sang you the programming song,
No, but I know the programmer's motto.
which is
It depends.
on what?
Good question. Let me spend the rest of the workday trying to figure that out.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's 99 little bit bugs in the code, 99 little bit bugs.
I
you
remember-
take one out, you patch it around, 216 little bugs in the code.
I should probably ask around on Google about this.
Yeah,
How to add text to a Unity project.
I'm wondering if you just have to make the text as an asset image and
Well,
then link it together.
How to create a dialog box and import text. This is a 22-minute long video. This is why I should have figured out all of this before.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, hang on a second.
UI and select text.
Wait, what was that?
I didn't say anything.
Hold up.
There. Just
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh, crap. Hi, Lee. Scared the crap out of me. It's been so quiet for a while. Thanks for being here, man. And for being subscribed via Twitch Prime for 5 freaking months.
Woohoo!
How you doing? We're learning how to punch in text into this Unity project we've been building. Trying to create this stick figure mock-up into something that still looks like a rough mock-up, but looks a little bit better. Produced by people who actually have artistic skill, unlike me. Like, I'm not gonna lie about this, Icicle. Your little bit of, like, wavy water menu here looks better than anything else in this picture.
Yeah, well, I have the advantage of Photoshop brushes and a tablet, so...
Any reason behind this particular angle? Basically, these 4 are going to be the party, and...
Oh, you forgot to make the enemy bigger.
Oh, right, yes. Hold on, does it work the same way it does in other programs, where if I hold shift... Yep, it does. It does work that way. So if I
Isn't
hold
it
shift,
nice?
it'll actually maintain... Yeah, when hot commands actually transfer between programs, yes, that is very nice. I love it.
I found that particular command transfers between almost all programs that have scaling, which is just so nice.
But yeah, the what I was trying to get at is we've decided during the last stream that going the Suikoden route for how the combat should look would actually work out pretty well.
Well, the reason he settled on this particular angle over any of the others was because as this picture shows here,
It has a tendency of making the enemy look big while the party looks small. There's literally, it tricks your eyes into thinking this is literally an uphill battle.
And by tricking your eyes, it tricks your mind. And so, by giving the illusion of an uphill battle, it feels that much more victorious at the end when you win. It adds that extra layer of opposition.
Makes the enemies seem intimidating, so when you overcome them, it's super satisfying.
Yeah.
So we've got, I'm glad you like it, Lee. So, text. Right, we need to figure out how to import that.
So obviously, if we're going to have a text box, we're going to need some text to go within it. So if you go again to...
Game object. 2D object? No. UI? There it is. There it is right there. Text. Game object UI text. That's what we were looking for this whole time. Wait. Oh no. Where'd it go?
I'll type it in, see where it shows up.
Oh boy. Oh boy. How do I, Oh
Can
no.
you
How
grab that background layer? Grab the skybox. Grab the skybox.
Wait a second. What the heck? What?
Oh, it's huge. Why is it huge?
Why is it all the way up there? How did it get there?
I don't know.
Look at how tiny the scene we've been working in is compared to all of this. This is font size 14. I need to make it like 2 for it to fit in our scene properly. And even then, it's way too big.
I guess we should make our scene a little bigger. Oh dear.
Just, What in the world just happened from that?
I don't know.
You know what, Lee? Despite my misgivings about the new Pokemon, like, I'm not gonna... I don't know. Like, we've been bullying somebody in the Discord about this because they said for like 2 months that they weren't going to buy the game because they were fed up with all of the things that were happening. So when they started backing down from it, I didn't feel too bad about giving them shit about it. But if somebody's...
Oh, please give them shit about it, because honestly, it's just... I don't have a national dex. This is going to be the first game where I don't have a national dex, and I'm kind of pissed about it. I like my national dex.
It's like I've kind of been burned out on Pokemon for a while, but it's also the idea of they're putting in a limit on the level of creature you can catch. That bugs the
Wait. What?
Okay, so you know how badges used to be creatures over a certain level would no longer listen to you?
Yeah.
And there's that big old wild area where you can encounter creatures that are way stronger than your team is currently.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough badges, you can't even capture those creatures.
What?
The game will...
That's not what.
Yeah. Like, Seneca, one of my roommates, shared that. And she was at the GameStop today because she wanted to pick up Ring Fit Adventure. And she was telling the guy behind the counter that he looked at her quizzically, double-checked it, and we found out it was true. He canceled his pre-order on the game. And so did the lady behind her. It's like, that's a freaking deal breaker, dude.
Dude, just you already had the perfect balance of catching and badges. You don't need to screw with that. If anything, add different abilities that you can use once you obtain badges. Like, I like what they did with the shops. Like, you unlocked different items as you got more badges. I like that. That was cool. So more elite trainers have access to better quality Pokeballs. They have better potions because the more badges you get, the higher level your Pokemon are, the higher level potions you need. It's just like, but
Anyway.
seriously, if you're gonna do something stupid, make it so that you can miss again.
And select text.
You used to be able to miss in first gen when you threw a Pokeball.
I remember that. Wasn't it like a 1 in 255 chance?
No, it happened way more often than that. But you could actually miss, and it happened fairly often. Like, the less badges you had, the more often your throws would miss. But, like, I was really disappointed that a mainline Pokemon game didn't come out for Wii or Wii U. Oh yeah, you suck so bad at throwing in Gen 1, it wasn't funny. But, just... I wanted to see a mainline Pokemon game come out for Wii or Wii U because the Wiimote would allow you to aim and then throw. And like different levels of Pokeball would have like a different circle area that would hit when you threw. So like a Pokeball would have like a small circle, a Great Ball would have a bigger one, Ultra Ball would have a bigger one, and Master Ball would cover the entire screen so you couldn't miss. And I was just really disappointed by that. And then my hopes were dashed even further when the Wii U didn't bother to have another Pokemon Snap, because you literally had a device you could hold in your hand that had a trigger button on both corners that you could use as a camera click. I mean, seriously. I know what you mean, randomly. I know what you mean. If you want to really experience it for what it is, go for it.
It's just
sell it once you get it.
Like if you're already in that if you're already in that mindset though, may I suggest buying it buying it used? So that Game Freak doesn't...
Will it be possible to find it used?
Oh yeah. Like depending on the city you're in, you might find people that are trading it back in the same day.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot of different people in a lot of different living situations with a lot of different standards are going to be buying a Nintendo game day one. So it's very likely you'll find it like day 2 or even a week after a used copy for slightly cheaper.
All right then. Well, I'm sure the game will be enjoyable in its own right. There are just going to be those features that rub you the wrong way because it's just... Try setting it to point... or that. Okay.
Look at how blurry that is. It doesn't even scale properly.
And that's why I was thinking that it might actually be easier to import the text as an object.
Maybe, yeah.
Because objects will scale.
Okay. You know what? This actually gives me a little more to play with, too. I wonder what's actually smaller in terms of file size. Actually just having the text by itself as another picture that I can put in, or using the in-game, like, text generator type of thing. Either way, it's like, this is the camera. The thing that bugs me about this is that this is the camera they gave me to start with. This little scene right here. So it's blowing my mind right now that the text is so gigantic it doesn't even fit inside the default setting.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Pillow Slitter, you missed that we discovered that our game window that they started us out with is freaking tiny. Like, size 14 text is bigger than the actual game window itself.
So I'm gonna share a small secret with you about Paint.net.
Yeah?
There is one thing this program cannot do with text.
Uh-huh.
So I can set a primary and a secondary color. I can set I can set the font, I can set the font size, the metric, I can make it bold, italic, strike through it. I can set the rendering mode for it, anti-aliasing, blending, all of that jazz. You know what I can't do?
What?
What's a feature you would expect for text that you don't see here? I'll give you a hint. What if I wanted to add a little more pizzazz to this text?
There's a font. Oh, there's no... No, there is italic. Just say it.
I can't add an outline. I also can't add a drop shadow to this text either to give it some more, even more depth.
Yeah, but if you're going for a UI, you kind of don't want drop shadows.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Drop shadows are dropping onto another layer behind it, and then if... Drop shadows for UI is not something I'm used to seeing in any game I've ever played. Like, UIs just don't have them unless it's one of the newer games that's got a crazy UI.
Now let me go back into the minimum shippable here so I can double check the personalities of our characters. Make sure this actually matches up.
She's the nurse.
Kelly's the nurse. Okay. So I should give her... So the secret I use, whenever I wanted some really complex text, like drop shadows or outlines or anything like that, you know what I do?
Ask me. I have Photoshop.
I actually open up, of all programs, I open up Sony Vegas.
Seriously?
Because in some ways it's more advanced.
That's funny.
I could also try to use Krita here.
I guess.
I knew I downloaded this program for a reason.
You know what?
Not the easiest program in the world to use. It's missing a lot of the things I'd want. Really cute mascot, though.
You know what?
What?
My mom's name is Kelly.
Oh?
Yeah, and she's got, she's my mom, but she's got this mile-wide streak of just absolute caring. She takes care of people like nobody's business. Maybe I could get her to sample handwriting and turn it into a font.
That would actually be really cool. That would be far more amazing than what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can't get her to do that.
In the meantime, I do have to create a placeholder, though. But it's also 8 p.m., which is when we usually take our 2-hour break. Well, not a break that lasts for 2 hours. A break
I know
we
what
take...
you mean.
I'm just clarifying for anybody in the audience. So, yeah, I'm going to cut to the BRB screen for a little bit. So, go out, stretch your legs, grab something to munch on, drink some water, whatever you need to do, because those are all the things I'll be doing, and we will be back in about 10 minutes or so, and we will put more of this together. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu. Don't go anywhere.
Doodles.
Okay. Oh, they can still hear me. right. We're back. I have a question.
Hmm?
Everybody always puts things on top of Ritz crackers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You add cheese or well, pretty much things on top of the cheese past that. You need some kind of bonding agent to stick the rest of the food to it, but my question is, have you ever taken a second just to sit down and try to eat them by themselves lately?
I love doing that. It's my favorite way to eat them.
Flaky, buttery, salty.
Flaky, buttery, salty. And most importantly... Wait, no, I already said salty. But the saltiness is the best part for me.
Lorem ipsum. Doesn't that literally mean filler text?
That's what it translates to, yeah.
Okay. I wonder what the rest of this is then. Lorem ipsum dolor citibet.
It's this, it's an essay?
Ah.
I don't remember what the essay was about, but they've used it as filler text ever since since the days of the printing press, pretty much. I don't know why. There's a whole story behind it if you want to bother to look it up on Wikipedia, but
Okay. I'll have to
it's
look
been
into
filler
it sometime.
text since forever.
Which one of these looks nice? Oh, it's one of those. I actually have to highlight it in the editor first before it'll change anything. I'm gonna look for just a little, something nice. Like a little cursive to play around with for this character, I think, but nothing too fancy. Doesn't have to go completely over the top.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Blend a script. I think that'll work. And the color we're going for here is maybe something dark blue.
Dark blue or a two-toned blue, yeah.
Now, does this
Something
have an...
that's just relaxing to look at.
Now, does this have an outline functionality?
Like I said, I'm the one with Photoshop. Give me a font, give me a size, and give me some colors, and I will do the thing.
Underline, strike through, superscript, subscript, weight. I'm gonna have to find myself a better program than Krita, I think. Because I've had problems with this thing before, and it looks fancy, but... Also, welcome, Altair. It's randomly generated text. Junk text. It doesn't mean anything.
And it's in Latin. It's Latin junk text.
Which is the best part. Again, going back to smart jokes. Alright, whatever. It doesn't have to... I'll make it like a sky blue for now so that it at least stands out among the background.
Duly noted, Altair. Duly noted.
Cyan, I guess, is the official name of that color.
Mm-hmm.
For crying out loud. No, I don't want to save it. Give me a program that's actually going to work with me here. I'm sure it's nice if you learn how to use it properly. I just don't have the patience in the middle of a stream itself.
Let me throw a thing.
Why did I go into my in production? Now people know what some of my books have been in recently.
That's a problem because why? We
I
might be
don't-
tempted to buy them because we like listening to your voice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, my last name is out there now. It's just I try not to make it easy for people.
Fair enough.
You could probably find it if you were looking hard enough.
Probably.
Yeah, Out of all the titles that could have caught somebody's eye, that was the one. You have to
What?
understand something, Altair. Like, half of what I get is romance novels. Another 40% of it is what I get is what I like to call my monster boyfriend novels, where it's like, hey, my significant other is secretly a werewolf or a vampire or they're Frankenstein's monster. I had one of those not too long ago. But don't worry, he's an attractive version. He's got scars and he has a huge like chip on his shoulder about them, but they're not that bad. They don't make him ugly or anything. What? Hey, whatever you're into. I'm not gonna judge. And hey, it's like people pay me for it, so. It's like I get it. Lindsay Ellis did a whole essay about this, and talking about the appeal of it. And Drawman has also given me an earful as well. The idea that just it can appeal to somebody who's looking for a break from the norm, as it were, or if oh god, I don't want to say too much because it sounds way better coming out of his mouth. I'm gonna be really, really sensitive.
Just say it, Fnu. Just say it.
Let's say you grew up in a type of situation where you felt excluded.
Yeah.
You would probably empathize with those kinds of stories. It's like, oh, yeah, the monster's just a person. They deserve love too.
Well, yeah. So the funny thing about Frankenstein's monster is that he was actually a genius, but Frankenstein freaked out because his eyes looked weird. Yeah.
Kelly Alpha.
Frankenstein is such a weird story.
Oh, dude. If I could be the narrator for a Chuck Tingle novel, I would be through the roof. It wouldn't even be too far from my usual stuff. I get gay romance novels once in a while. I just finished one not too long ago, and I have another one lined up from the same author. It's like I'm not into it. It's not my thing, but if they like my voice and they're willing to pay me, I'll go for it. What?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Something you want to say to me, punk?
Nope.
Where the hell did that asset get to?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I only imported it. I haven't actually put it in the game yet. Oops. It's the wrong color, but... Now I need HP and, what did we call it again?
MP. Magic power.
Yep. Yeah, that was the simplest thing that anybody could be, that anybody could associate with it, even though the system works completely differently than it does in other games like that.
Yeah, it's just familiarity, really.
Let me open up a lot of our reference art again, just to make sure that I have this right. Make it look at least somewhat okay. Because, I think Paper Mario was our main influence on this.
Yes.
Because they have those, bars behind it to make it look all nice.
Yes.
And we actually have some assets here to work with if we go to the assets store.
Fnu?
Yes?
What file type do you have the white box in the frame?
Set to?
Yeah.
They should be PNGs.
Okay.
I just used PNG by default because Vegas has problems with GIFs sometimes. So I got in the habit of whenever I need transparency, I just use PNGs. They're smaller too, which helps.
Hmm.
What was I doing?
Mm.
Right.
I was gonna send you a thing.
Oh?
Yeah.
That's the wrong program. Whoops.
If I can find where I put it.
Asset store. Yeah, so what I was trying to get at is we have some... Let me go back to my actual asset store
Yay!
page and double check that this is what I need. Because I just need icons, one representing health and one representing magical power.
I made it pretty.
You did?
Yeah.
Alright, let's make sure, let me turn off the display for just a second so that nobody sees something I don't want them to.
I mean, they'd see my sketches, YouTube link, and the thing I just sent you, but okay.
Hey! That actually looks way better.
Well, yeah, I have Photoshop. You want text? Just
For just a moment there, I wanted to just get all, like, fake snippy about that. Because you've said it a couple times, I just wanted to go, me. Oh, look at me, I pay monthly for a program that...
I don't actually.
Right, you have the legacy version, which
I do.
Photoshop desperately doesn't want people to know about.
To which I say, screw you, Adobe. They will still support you though. If you lose your disk, but you still have all your info, your key, your registration, everything, they'll totally reinstall it for you, and it's amazing. And you know, honestly, all this programs as a service nonsense is so stupid. Like, people are literally trying to find the old versions and discs. It's like those old Photoshop discs and keys have become like black market gold at this point because everyone hates subscription service so much.
Yep.
Same thing goes for like Microsoft Office.
I don't think the text is scaling 100% properly, but I can pump it up to that without it being really blurry.
Well, I can make it a lot bigger too if need be. Because it wasn't very big. Which...
I think it's fine the way it is at the moment.
Okay.
And again, we don't have to put...
Because the bigger you make it, the better it scales.
Yeah. There's also that idea that we learned about, like, vector graphics.
Yes.
Which are small file size, but you can scale them up no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to learn how that works, because that's probably going to help me optimize this thing a lot.
I make vector graphics a lot. In Photoshop, they're known as custom shapes and lines using the pen tool. And I have so many of them.
Right, I remember what I was doing now. So let's close that out. Go back to the asset store because I need icons. I don't think there's anything in this particular list. Like, that little pill bottle might represent health, but I don't really have anything for magic in this. Oh, I guess I do. There's the pill bottle, and then there's the potion bottle. One could be health, one could be magic. Looking at old icons like this, you know what it reminds me of?
Flash player games?
Not quite. It reminds me of Nintendo Power magazines.
I miss those.
They'd have
I have
articles.
A bunch on my shelf.
Back when I was a kid, they'd have articles about... My favorite is whenever they had big sections devoted to all of the items that you could find in the game. And the way they were presented, I don't know, it was just something about being a kid and having that wild imagination. But seeing something like a 1-up, it sounds silly, but something as simple as a 1-up or a weapon pickup held so much more weight just because it had that much space. You were like, oh man, that thing looks so cool. I want to buy this game just because of the way it's presented in this magazine.
Yes.
They did their job really well. Nintendo Power, I'm sure, sold more copies of Fester Quest than anything the team behind it ever did.
What? What the heck is Fester Quest?
Fester's Quest. You've never heard of the Addams Family?
Oh, that Fester.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fester's Quest was a game for the NES that starred Uncle Fester, and it's infamous for the fact that you're actually worse off if you keep upgrading your weapon.
What?
There are 7 different weapon upgrades, but you'll probably get stuck at around number 3 because its firing pattern is this S shape that's impossible to hit anything with.
Who screwed that up?
I don't know, the developers apparently.
Apparently. I guess sometimes developers just get so involved in developing they forget to do practical. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something I gotta be very careful when making this game. Just making sure
Oh,
not
don't worry.
to lose sight of what's actually fun.
We'll keep you from doing that. Don't worry on that point. We'll tell you. We'll definitely tell you.
I appreciate that. Wait a second. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I thought this might have been it. Check mark, menu, pause, pointer, question mark. Basic icons. I guess that's it. I saw all of these other pictures back here of like a trash can, a heart, a present box. I thought I was going to get all of those.
Apparently not.
Oh, well. Yeah, I'll just use the free game items one. It probably would have taken me less time just to draw this up myself, but... Oh man, apparently there's a lot more of these than I thought. Oh no, there's just different sizes for all of them. Okay, depending on how big of an icon you actually need. Or how much quality you need out of it, because 96 DPI, 150 DPI, and 300 DPI. How do you feel about using open source assets? I feel as long as most of the game... Like, this is all placeholder stuff. What I should probably do, now that I'm thinking about it, I've alluded to this a couple times now, is I should just create some text. Some little transparent text. First, I'm going to make all of this, like, completely transparent here. And I'm just going to make a little note of, pre-alpha placeholder assets. I'm just going to have that in the corner of the screen the whole time while I'm developing this. Just to let people know that, yeah, these are probably not going to end up in the final product. It could save me money, and that's the thing. As long as most of the stuff is original, 1 or 2 reused things or slightly modified things here and there just to make life a little easier for the artistic side of things is not a big deal. It's only when you try to cobble together the entire game out of them that you're in trouble.
True.
Like big budget companies even do that all the time. They just pull things straight off of the Unity store and modify it a little bit for their own purposes. Saves them hundreds of dollars in man hours. Even really big indie devs do that same kind of thing. Little indie devs do that kind of thing. Everybody can benefit from the process as long as you're not being a bellend about it.
True enough.
Because that's what led to Jim Sterling declaring war on the entirety of Steam there for a while.
What?
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that, but when
Jim Sterling's basically the guy who invented the term asset flip.
Ah. Yes. No, still not ringing a bell.
Asset flip is basically a term he invented to describe games that are made entirely out of somebody else's hard work. And you try to mash them together into something resembling a video game.
Ah.
One of the most infamous examples is this thing called the Horrid Spider. That thing has been used in so many crappy horror FPSs that have been released onto Steam Greenlight and whatnot that he created an entire contest based around seeing who could do something original for once with that spider. Jim's got a great sense of humor.
That's pretty great.
Uh-oh.
I am amused.
I need to remove that from that folder. Doesn't actually need to be in there. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Now it's where it's supposed to be. I'm just gonna put that on layer 10 so that no matter what I add to the scene, it's gonna be on top. And now anybody who's coming in will have no two ways about it will know that this is not going to... most of this is not going to be there when the final game gets released.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember what I was doing now. So, health. Pills here. I love it when programs just make it really easy to use a zoom feature.
Me too. It's very refreshing.
Because I do it a lot. I go in and out because I want to make sure that I'm exact. I want to make sure that it's just where I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I am a bit of a perfectionist, and it's probably one of the things that's bitten me on the butt more than once when I'm creating videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the actual bars I need to create in. I need to create myself.
Mm.
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 Kimosabi.
Kimosabi. Old horse's patoot.
You familiar with the Lone Ranger?
Yes.
Like,
It shows the old ranger in the retirement home, and he's got the Native American to English dictionary, and it's got this little like circle of what he's reading, and it says Kimosabe, old horse's patoot. Tato! It's just so funny.
it's like a complimentary. Well, I've got a color wheel right in front of me.
made a thing, and I think it looks pretty good.
Oh?
Yeah, let's see what you think. Crappy crop. Where is crop? There's crop. Found it. Croppity crop. Savety save. Doing the thing with the stuff.
Trying to get sort of a wooden color on this outline I'm giving this health bar right now. Maybe I should just go like standard black. Or just do that thing where you just pull the bar through the color wheel all around, and you just eventually you settle on something that looks good.
Doesn't look as good as I thought. More edit.
Where'd my crop tool get to? You know what I need to get out of the habit of?
No, what?
Constantly, like, it's good to double check every now and again if somebody said something in the chat, but I also have a bad habit of looking at the viewer list while I'm there too. It's like, oh man, am I polling more than 4 people at this exact moment?
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh hey, those look pretty good.
Yeah, but I'm being a perfectionist about it.
Now, I'm gonna double check the reference images again one more time to try and study.
50.
Paper Mario uses these big, bold numbers. They really stand out amongst everything else, especially against the colored backgrounds that they've got to work with.
True.
Immediately, like, the UI is designed so beautifully that you can tell where everything is. Again, I want to reiterate, like, things don't have to be pretty at this point in development, but it's at the same time I'm sort of setting the baseline for what we're going to expect in the future. God, I wish I could give this outlines, because look at that. They understand the benefit of it. Just having that big black border around everything so that it pops.
Yep.
I think the best I can do as is I can make it bold for now. I'll have to look into that. I will choose an art program based solely off of the idea that it can give me a border to text. I'd just take that at this point.
You irritated much?
It's just a feature I've wanted to be able to do without busting open a... Because what I used to do is I'd open up a Sony Vegas project.
Uh-huh.
And I'd just have a transparent background, and I'd take a screenshot of the text I wanted against the transparent background, open that up in Paint.net, crop it down to what I wanted, and then put it back into the... It's just the stupidest thing imaginable. It was this huge roundabout process because I had no other way of doing it. At this point, I probably would have saved more time just finding a program that can do it. Learning how to use it. Now, I'm going to double check. What does Wild Arms 3 look like again? The actual combat. Okay, so there is actually... Right, I remember now. There is actually something of a bar for that. There is actually something of a, hey, this is how close you are to maxing out your force power at any given time. I should probably save this just for reference, because that's a very clean picture of it. UI Inspiration 6. A really stylish thing about this game, too, is they have the character portrait behind the text. I like the idea we're going with. It's sort of a modification of what we're trying to do, which is add personality to the UI and make it specific to the character themselves.
I guess. I'm trying to do a thing and I'm not succeeding.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault. Well, sort of your fault. You got me in game dev mode.
It's fun, though, isn't it? To feel like
Oh,
you're
it's
building
so
something.
much fun. Yes. Flip that.
I guess if I'd be setting her HP to about 5... Let's see, the primary color would be blue. But I'd want the outline to be something maybe a little more mystical in nature. Give it that sort of glowy kind of look, maybe?
Maybe.
Just a little bit different. Except, now here's the, I actually have to remove a lot of that and then replace it. Fill up only a little bit of it with the actual blue. Oh no, I'd want the fill part of the bar. I've got this backwards. I'd want the primary to be light and the outside to be dark. Because then the inside color is popping amongst the rest of it. It stands out to you. It's bright, it's exciting, it's colorful.
All true.
Yeah, that's sort of like bright neon blue. That's what I'm looking for on that one. And now I can, I think, gray out the rest of it, basically. It's fun to do this a little bit right now because I'm sort of establishing the idea of art theory in my mind.
Ooh.
And what's something that would, I guess I'm going to go with the black letters again. Because those will stand out no matter what.
True.
I'm sure that's entirely less than 5%, but there we go. That's another little placeholder asset. All that's left is to plug them in, and I think I'm almost done with our pre-built thing here. Magic Bar Alpha. I should probably list it as Magic Bar PA for pre-alpha.
Maybe.
Oh man, whenever I hop back in here, it just reminds me again. Even though it's all placeholder assets, it still feels good to look at. I can understand where some people get caught up in it. It's like, that's good enough, right?
Mm.
Magic Bar, Pennsylvania.
Boop.
On 3. And then last but not least,
That looks terrible.
I know it does. I'm not
No,
exactly
not
the
you.
world's best artist.
Not you. I'm doing a thing. A thing with some stuff.
Whoa. Whoa, where'd it go? It ran away from me. It just really, really didn't want to be a part of that scene.
Mm.
Yeah, I completely botched this up. I forgot to make the bars the same size as one another.
You want to go for blue with mana, or are you going to use purple for mana?
I'm gonna
Or
go with
magic.
I'm gonna go with blue because it's a. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the final one is gonna look like.
Okay.
And you know what? Those basic icons from before that I
Mhm.
imported, those might actually hold a point for now, because we need. Can I rotate this? Yes, as a matter of fact, I can. I don't think on that axis, though. Or that one. Neither of those are what I'm looking for. What about... Yep, that's what I need. For now, just to indicate whose turn it is, I'm just going to have the pointer there. Normally, we'd have the actual commands and the counters and whatnot, but... And if we go into the game window itself, that's what it looks like currently. It's ramshackle. But we built it. We built this city on rock and roll. Oh, hey, Heather. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing tonight? Sorry, you have the same username color, so I thought Altair was just talking about something. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're trying to put together a little project here. It doesn't look like much right now, but essentially I'm just putting a bunch of cobbled together assets and placeholders here together so that I can attempt to... Basically, I just need some visuals to work with at the moment. And then I can start trying to build an actual game around them. And then, once the game engine is there, and it plays good, and it feels good to play, then we'll start trying to make it look pretty. That's the goal right now. So do you think we've got everything we need, Icicle? I should actually start trying to look now into how an RPG combat system would work.
Let me see. Yes.
Like, what else would we need?
I mean, aside from the UI, not much.
Yeah.
Okay, I finished.
Looking back over this, we need a menu for the characters.
I made a better magic bottle.
Let's see here. Hey. That does look pretty good. I like the little cork texture that you gave it. And the liquid
all
inside
the
also
things.
stands out much more clearly, too.
Yeah, so I swapped the layers a little bit and I redid the cork, and then instead of having 2 different layers for the stem of the bottle and the actual round part of the bottle, I just extended the shape of the round bottle.
If we're going to keep doing this, we should probably just open up a Discord for all of the dev talk.
Probably. I like making things.
HP
It's not
heart.
often I get to actually make nice things that get used. I have a pittance of nice things that get used in my jobs folder.
I'll rename a lot of these files a little later.
Of the things I have in my job folder, I think maybe 5 of these actually got used.
Oh, right. I'm not in scene view. I can't edit that. Assets. I really like that suggestion you came up with. Taking your mom's handwriting and making it the font we used for the character's title here in the status menu.
Yeah, I just need to have her write the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy brown dog. Just have to have her write that a couple times, basically. Just have her write it on some paper and then I'll trace it over.
Well, it's one of those ideas that inspired me and made me think, hang on a second, we could use this as just one more way to add personality to every single thing. Because the font themselves, it's not only handwritten to look like it's reflective of who the characters are themselves, but it's also, what am I trying
Original?
to say? The way their handwriting look could be evocative of the character themselves.
Well,
like,
actually...
Totally, yeah, I could imagine that character just writes that way, type of thing.
Well, you see, this something special about cursive.
Mm-hmm.
Cursive actually reflects your personality as you write in it, depending on the way you do certain letters.
Had no idea.
Which is kind of why I came up with this idea. My mom's a super nurturing person, and this character is a super nurturing character, and I figured, well, if it's handwriting we want, why not get someone with the same personality to get a text sample?
I'll keep that in mind, Lee, thanks. And you have a good night, all right? Thanks for being here.
See ya!
I'm also not sure how I feel about the potion bottle representing the magic in this case.
Again, these are
heart,
placeholders.
Yeah, the heart makes sense, but when we do the final draft, I want to think of something that more communicates an idea of modern magic. The potion bottle feels very fantasy, you know?
Yeah. Let's see, when I think of magic, several things come to mind.
Like, we'll worry about that later. I'm just making a footnote for now.
Okay.
Okay, so what we need next in order to create a full combat system, this is why I opened up the folder again with all of the things here. I want to create a checklist of all the items we need left to do. Basically, just create a whiteboard.
Oh, Lee. You mean like those little soul flames? Or just like a little body icon?
Let's make this nice and big so people can read it. Pre-alpha battle menu for each character.
Because when I think of modern magic, I think of like chakra or ryatsu. Like spirit energy rather than, magic.
last but not least, we have our last character on the team, Eleanor. Or just L. Oh, no, wait a second. I mean, if that's the
What?
name of the game right now, that would actually make sense in the UI. The health would be represented by the heart, and the magic would be represented by the soul. So we just have this little wispy icon. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but do we want it to look like a human-shaped wisp, or just one of those
Probably
generic
not.
soul wisps?
Maybe like a little will-o-wisp type thing.
Okay.
Looks almost like a ball of ethereal fire kind of thing. But we'll worry about that later for now.
Okay.
Right now, the next thing on the to-do list is to create assets, basically, for... this is our whiteboard right now. So next up, we need to make pre-alpha battle menus for each character. So we've got Kelly, May, Abigail, and Eleanor. I should probably also list their elements here so that we have a better reference for... what the theme is we're going for. So Kelly we've well established as water. May is fire. Not fitter. Fire. Thank you. Stupid fingers. Earth, and Abby is wind.
It's funny seeing that a couple seconds behind.
Okay, so water. Just this cheap little, like, blue menu type of thing. Let me take another look at that rough draft. I mean, essentially, if we're thinking about this in terms of functions, again, it doesn't have to look fancy. We could just create some literal boxes. And as long as they do things like, if we can get them to move and react to player input, that kind of thing.
We can worry about making them pretty later.
Yeah, and we can also do things like the water one, as it idles, it could just like very slowly and subtly just kind of drift up and down like it's riding a current or something.
Or drip.
Or I'm just thinking about movement at this point in time. One of the other characters, like fire, we could add some particles to it, like maybe it's glowing or some embers are coming off periodically. Wind. Wait a second. I think I know how we're going to handle wind. The menus for that. Flags or wind socks, something like that. So they're blowing in the breeze.
I mean, you could pretty much use anything that can be caught in a breeze. And more often than not, I find that the thing you find blowing in the breeze most often are leaves.
Well,
Bits
I just
of
mean
grass, dust, very, very light things. I mean, if you really wanted to go for it, I suppose you could have birds.
I was thinking feathers might also be a good way to communicate it, but I like the idea of the menu like waving in the background.
Kind
like
of
behind the text kind of thing.
The boxes kind of flapping.
Sort of, yeah. Yeah, the box itself is flapping in the wind.
That's fun.
And like the text is going along with it. And last but not least for Earth, it's I like hang on. Because the Earth character is also going to be the Beastmaster. So I very much like the idea of them being slabs of stone or rock, going for a very prehistoric look, or maybe a forest kind of look, because when you choose an option and it moves to the side so you can focus better on the next list of options available for that, a footprint appears on the thing you chose.
Oh,
like
nice.
Like a paw print for the bear that she has.
Very nice.
I should be writing these down.
Well, do that then. Definitely do that.
game idea dump. So I'm going to make a... Oh, this is a note that I added to the game idea dump because hidden in the truth, my male roommate, he was playing the original Wild Arms, and something in that game, you can basically rename any spell you've got, any ability your characters have, and they can use in combat. So you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't have to be like a big shot or whatever the standard name for it is, or hand cannon or anything like that. You can rename it to anything, which I think adds a very neat little touch to the game because it's a very easy to implement element of this isn't just another character, this is your character type of thing.
I like that in Earthbound you got to name your move.
Yeah.
Your
PK
PK whatever.
PK
You
steak.
can name. Yes, mine wound up being chocolate cake. But that didn't fit, so it was choco cake.
Okay.
But I hate chocolate cake. I was just like, what was this kid like?
So you were even making the connection back then as a kid. The idea
Are you
that,
kidding me? I
this
didn't play
character...
I didn't play Earthbound until I went to MCTI with Ice Cold Koopa and Karis.
I
Potate.
see. So
I did not grow up with the Super Nintendo. In fact, I didn't even grow up with any video games. I was 10 years old before I had a Game Boy Black and White. And shortly after that died, we got a Nintendo 64, and then that year for Christmas, I got my first new game console, which was actually Advance SP. Mom was very, very conservative growing up, and she has since mellowed out greatly, much to all of our relief. Video games will rot your brains out. Yeah, you know what else they'll do? They'll make your kids leave you alone for hours.
Well, that's the thing. Video games aren't supposed to be babysitters.
No, they're not. But we were hyperactive. Both me and my sister had ADHD. And so trying to keep us occupied for any length of time was darn near impossible. So when she realized that we'd shut up and leave her alone for hours, and we wouldn't be getting in trouble, we wouldn't be making messes, we wouldn't be doing all the things that hyperactive kids do, she's like, okay, I give up. You can have video games if it means you'll behave.
I'm starting to think about this in terms of, because that footprint idea is sticking in my mind now. So maybe Abigail's flags or windsocks or whatever they end up being, when you choose an option, the irrelevant information blows away.
I like that.
Or May's are like these glowing, embering things, and they burn up.
I literally like that idea.
As opposed to theoretically liking it. It's a hypothetical like.
You are such a dork.
Eleanor, we've already decided. Damp earth / forest floor, bare paw print, stamps on the choices you made. And the last one was Kelly.
Just flows away, evaporates away, drips off.
So water, we need to establish what her things are going to look like. Does it look like the letters are just floating on top of water?
That's cool.
Water. Let her sink after you choose an option. And new ones surface. That could be it. Like, her whole menu is just this pond-looking thing.
I like that.
And as you choose, it's not like we're not pushing away the previous boxes, as it were. It's just like they sort of flow away and sink down, and new ones come into view and rise up above the water.
Nice. Kind of like fish. It comes up to investigate the surface, and then it dives back down when you pick a different fish. But the fish are words.
Something like that, yeah. All right, so how do I make easy to produce versions of all of these? Hold on.
Well,
Hold on. I gotta stretch out my back. Oh.
You're right. That does feel nice.
Ow.
Hey, it's Swirl.
Fine.
Hey, Swirl.
Hey, Swirl. Hey. How are you doing? I'm gonna go see a chiropractor when I'm 35.
Dude, I've been seeing one since I was 8. Don't wait.
Well, I mean, it's just like
Don't wait.
What I have to do in this sound booth, it severely increases the quality of my audio, but it also puts me in this. I've just realized we haven't had music this whole time. Oops. No wonder we've been dropping viewers like flies. Don't worry, I have more Nintendo lo-fi hip-hop beats for all of you.
I didn't notice either. Probably because I've been thinking so hard.
Oops, not that one. It's not pretty. Not yet. Not yet it is, but like I built it and it's mine and I love it. We built it. Sorry. What do you want me to list you in the credits as, Icicle? Like a fellow creative director or like an artist or
Collaborator.
very quiet? That's kind of the point is the thing. That way I can hear Icicle over it. There we go. Y'all are still seeing the computer, right? Yep. Just making sure. All right.
I mean, I am by no means quiet, but when it comes to volume balancing...
Yeah. So, okay.
It's more... The music is more there for when neither of us are talking to prevent a complete awkward silence.
I think I'm going to make this easy on myself for the menus, and I'm just going to color them after the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So what colors do we associate with all of these elements? Wind is sort of like this very pale...
Yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Huh. I'd assume yellow with lightning, I think. I was thinking more
yeah,
of like this
but
very...
lightning and wind are pretty much always go together, and the color is like a real pastel yellow.
For wind specifically, I was thinking this sort of like a very pastel light sea green kind of thing.
I mean, if you really wanted to get technical, most of the time when you see wind in a game is depicted as black lines or white lines.
Here, I'll show you.
You know, only really seen wind in 2 games, is Okami and Wind Waker. But when I think of wind, I think of this real light pastel yellow that's like not even fully opaque. It's like 50%, 30% opacity. SMT? What's that?
SMT uses green for wind. Shin Megami Tensei.
Thank you.
So let's see if I can find what I'm talking about. This sort of color. It's very nice, very... And the best thing about using this specifically right here is that I can... Oh god, going down the production values I'm thinking of, I'd have to separate the text and the menus themselves as different objects. Or I'd have to make the menu as a 3D object inside the project in order to get that rippling effect.
Not necessarily.
Or I'd have to make a, I'd basically have to animate that by hand.
Yeah. It's not as hard as people think. Especially with Flash Player.
Okay. It's just art by itself is very, very difficult. I can't even imagine the troubles you have to go through for animation. I did it once. I have done exactly one thing of animation in the past, and that is for back when I used to do Let's Plays. I had this parody of Egoraptor's Sequelitis because I was playing through the Mega Man Anniversary Collection at the time. So I did the whole bit of, he ends up on the zip line, whoop, Mega Man! And I redrew that role just by sight drawing and trying to recreate Egoraptor's art style, and I also drew myself like him. I actually studied that video frame by frame to try and understand why all of his animations had the impact they did. I tried to actually figure out the theory behind it, and holy crap, I put way more work into that video than I needed to.
Maybe, but you really liked it.
Yes, I did.
Anyway, the simplest animations that you can do are just frame-by-frame GIFs. Which, you know, GIF has what? Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 16 frames, I think.
Okay.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6. Oh, 15 frames. That one I just sent you. Never wound up using it, sadly, but it was for our Minecraft server for some guys I hang out with whenever I do Minecraft, which sadly isn't very often anymore. But basically, the easiest animations don't have to be super detailed, and they can still look pretty great. You saw how I made it light up when the lightning flashed?
Yeah.
I just used...
yeah.
I raised the brightness and contrast.
Yeah.
For that frame. So it's simple little effects like that that can make the whole animation.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like wicked smart.
I was wondering what that rumbling sound was.
Oh yeah, no, it's me. I'm freezing my ass off in my truck waiting for it to fucking warm up.
Dude, I know exactly the feeling. Get into the car, immediately crank up the heat to the max level, turn on the rear defroster, and turn off the AC, and just wait for your fingers to freaking melt.
Oh,
I think.
Is that what people without automatic starts do? Oh, it sounds miserable.
Yes, that is what us peasants do, Queen.
Yeah, not all of us live in houses where when you turn on the shower head, it's already at the temperature you want the water to be. Some of us have to wait for it to warm up.
No, my showers still do that, but my car has an automatic start.
Ah, okay. My mom has that feature, and it's just like, how can I live your life?
Yeah, it was $8,000 in a used van, so Save your money.
What the okay. I guess that's one less thing I have to fix in my truck.
What's up?
What? Did something magically just start working?
Yeah, my gas gauge is back to work.
Well, small blessings, right? Small blessings.
No, it is. But going back to that, Joe Rogan had a bit where it's like, yeah, when it gets winter in the Midwest, like you just go into your car and you just like you grab the steering wheel and just yell fuck, 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 fuck until you're warm again.
Pretty much.
And like,
Have you ever seen the Hobbit bit about winter in the Midwest?
I don't think I have, no.
Okay, let
I
me go
have to-
pull that out of my funny pictures folder. We could share that with everyone here.
have you heard about this guy called Gandalf?
I'm sorry, where are they taking the hobbits again? I could never remember.
Mordor.
Mordor.
Oh, I thought it was to Isengard.
Well, they went to Isengard first, and then they went to Mordor. Did I tell you what he did to me the other day?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Couldn't be.
Then who?
Shut up! You're terrible! You're horrible! You're awful!
Man, I wish I still had my webcam up so people could see the giant, goofy grin on my face right now.
Oh, I don't have to see it. I can see it in my mind. And it's just so stinking smug. Where is it?
Alright.
What was?
Do I seriously not have it? I need to fix this.
Oh, are you gonna tell him what I did to you last?
Yeah, so I was pissed off because my mom didn't know who Gandalf was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came and I texted Ice Cold
You
Koopa
just say
over
my
here.
name. I say my name all the time.
Whatever.
Just like
So I
Kevin.
texted Kevin over here, and I'm like, my mom doesn't know who Gandalf is. Arrgh! And he says, who? If he'd have been an arm's length, ooh, you'd have a nice bruise on your arm.
What scares me
it
is
made
like
me
there's-
so mad.
Eventually, there's gonna be a time where she's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't," and like, "Oh, my mom didn't know who this is," and I genuinely won't know, and then she'll be like within arm's reach. She's just gonna start pummeling me to death.
Well, first I'll give you a pissed off look. And then after about the 5th time you say, I seriously don't know, I'll believe you.
No. About the 5th punch when I was sitting there screaming, "Mom, please stop hitting me!" Like my childhood.
Honestly, I really don't have strong arms. They might as well be wet noodles for all the force I can put into them. Let's see, here it is. The Hobbit bit about Midwest winters.
Alright. So this is the scene I'm working with right now. I have menus for all the characters. Now I need to find out a way to draw text at a particular location. Does that mean I also need to create... as we established, the actual text command doesn't really work for us here. So we need to draw out all of the commands, like attack, defend, item, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I need to do next?
Well, yes.
Alright, let's take a small break with a Mordor meme here. We had it.
But what about winter? We've already had it. We've had one, yes, but what about second winter? I don't think he knows about second winter, Pip. What about fall spring? Salt slush, mud season, Fool's April, final snow. He knows about those, doesn't he? I wouldn't count on it.
Okay, but what's those final 2 panels? What's the joke there?
A single snowflake, and then he's looking up like, okay, so is this final snow or Fool's April? And just being confused about the weather because Midwest.
We had exactly 2 seasons in Arizona. Okay, we had summer and we had winter. Well, that's not fair. We had like 1 week of spring and fall each.
If
It's
you
all
could
right,
call
up
it
here.
that.
Up here in Michigan, it's an hour of spring. That's what you get. You get an hour.
Yeah, you get an hour of nice sunshine, flowers blooming, and a comfortable t-shirt temperature, and then just about an hour of that, and then it snows again.
Okay,
Ever tell you Pete used to make fun of me for this? But I used to just go pass out in the sun, like all the time.
Just
Like when she was living with me. So,
I don't think you told me that, no.
yeah, she used to make jokes that I was a freaking cat because I would just go pass out in the sun.
wow.
No, you're a turtle.
I
We've
really do know how to
established
pick them, because I do that too! Of course, I'm actually purring like a cat while I'm doing it, but Laying in the sunshine is one of life's most sublime pleasures.
So I would do it because I was drunk.
I mean, I wish I could do it more often. Like, you need to take advantage of life while you can. Winter's the perfect example of that, because what am I gonna do? Just lay on top of the snow now?
Yeah, they make us
No.
something.
You put a black blanket in front of a window that gets a couple hours worth of sunlight.
Oh. See, I would do something very similar in my dad's place. I just throw the blanket in the dryer for about, like, 10 minutes or so.
Oof.
Well, no, the black blanket absorbs the sunlight and then gets warm. So you lay on the blanket in the sunlight. Yeah, Swirl's got a good point there.
Winter means more time for Pizzadev streams. Yeah. Okay, so...
That's valid. That's valid.
Okay, seriously here, though. Text for battle commands. What else do I need on top of that? Do I need... I need a hit spark to signify that an attack happened. You know, a hit spark. So, like, one of those little effects that shows up when an attack connects, just to have a visual indicator that something happened there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm basically trying to cover all of the assets I'll need, however rough they may be, so that I can start testing and building the combat engine.
Those are fairly easy to make.
I need to
I mean,
to stockpile
Photoshop
sound
has
effects.
a default one. As like one of the default shapes that comes with Photoshop is this like weird looking star shape. Makes for a perfect placeholder hitbox thing.
I'm also making a list here of all the sound effects and music that I'll need as well. So there's a choose option sound. There'll be a backup sound for the menus. There'll be a scrolling sound, like when you move from one option in the menu to the next one.
Well, the water one is definitely gonna be bloop.
You think the sound effects should be specific for the character, or should we keep those universal between them?
If you want to go that far, yes. But in the interest of time, sanity, and efficiency,
That's a maybe
not.
thing. That's a maybe thing. I'll write that down on the in the idea dump. Custom menuing sound effects for each character, question mark?
Yeah, because the fire one's gonna be like a sizzle, and then you've got the wind one. It's like,
Yeah.
and then for the earth one, if we're gonna go with the footprint one, it's gonna be a kind of a
Just
grunt
a
and
stomp.
a stomp and maybe a for the bear or whatever.
So choose option, backup, scrolling. Let's see here. What else? I need a punch sound effect.
Oh, and here's a hit spark. Just super basic.
Let's see here. Yeah, I could use that. Thank you. Hit spark pre-alpha. Who knows? Maybe somewhere some of these things will actually make it into the game.
Maybe. But it's much more fun for me, anyway, to just really put the polish on something.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many hours I've spent doing some of the things I've done on Photoshop.
And that is like that is an artist thing. We can always think of one more thing we could add to the game to maybe add more character or flair or some other thing we can add a little bit more polish to bring it up, which is why producers are so important in a game dev team because
they
have
keep us on track.
They have the very thankless job of drawing the line in the sand and being like, "All right, guys, we need to ship a product sometime this century."
Yep. And trying to get an artist to discard something is a lot like trying to get food away from a hungry dog.
Because it's just like all of it is you. All of it is
Yes.
something that came out of your heart and mind and soul.
And to discard it feels wrong.
It feels personal, which is
does.
that's one of the first things you learn as an artist is like not to take criticism so personally.
It took me a long time, I'll say that.
Okay, so we got a punch sound. What are the other options that we have in battle? Got a punch. Is defending a thing in this game?
I don't know. Is it?
I mean, even Paper Mario did that.
It sucked, though.
Yeah, even though people barely used it.
It was super difficult to use, and then on top of being super difficult to use, it was a terrible option. Because you could maybe, with the badges that went with it, block a maximum of 4 damage if you timed it right.
Oh my goodness. I am sorry.
Don't do that. I'll start doing that.
So, Paper Mario, I'm thinking about that now. Because we do have very small... We gotta balance the game around the idea that we have these small numbers to work with. There's not a whole lot of variance.
Well, using that idea of these small numbers, though, with small numbers, even defending against 1 damage is a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Do I want to have action commands in this game is the question? Or should that be a character?
That is what made Paper Mario so much fun, were the action commands.
So little mini games you play with every attack.
Right. And none of them are very complicated. All of them are super easy. It's not this huge, big, honking, difficult challenge. I think there was one move that was super difficult, and if you maxed that move out, you did like 30 damage. It was insane.
All right,
I think it was Sushi's Tsunami.
Oh, you mean the ability that can break the game if you input too many commands for it?
Yes, that's the one.
I
never managed to get that far.
Have you ever seen a YouTube channel called Strider7X? I talk about him sometimes.
I watch him frequently, yes. I love watching him do crazy things with Paper Mario because it's one of my favorite games, like ever. And I was kind of pissed when I found out just how much stuff they wound up cutting from that game. It was just like, why?
What other sound effects do I need? Choose option, backup, scrolling, punch, use item.
Well, yeah. Well, do you want different sound effects for use item magic versus use item health?
Probably in the final product, but for now I'll make it both. Yeah, I should have 2. use item 1 sound and a use item 2 sound, just so that I get used to coding those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I get used to the process of, like, that's also why I should have 2 different types of attacks as well. Hey, this is the particular command I'm looking for. This is how I attach sound effects and other things to that. So, magic sound. We should have 1 ability for every character. We should have 1 ability for every single character that's in the group right now. So, what did we decide their abilities were? I thought we figured this out while we were doing some calculations for... Yeah, that's in the mechanics document. So we figured out all of the stats, party member details, their spells, their finishers, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we have nitroglycerin, elixir, allegro, and roar. So we need... We need damage magic, healing magic, buffing magic, and debuffing magic. That actually worked out really nicely. They all have completely different abilities.
That's how it's supposed to be.
They cover the entire spectrum. One deals a lot of damage, one heals people, one makes the party stronger, and the other puts a detrimental effect on the foe. That's really good. And... okay, beyond that, so we have sound effects for the different spells the characters are going to be using.
Mm-hmm.
A punch sound, a take damage sound we should also have.
Oof!
What if I just actually made it the Roblox oof? We could go back to that initial project I was building while I was trying to learn Game Maker Studio. And just like, there's a 1 in 20 chance you'll instead hear, my leg!
Yes! Yes! Oh, I wonder if that's still... Okay, so there was an old point-and-click adventure that had, live-action animations. It was called the Amazon Trail, and it had a fishing minigame where you did spear fishing.
Oh, yes! I remember this! I played this all the time as a kid.
Ow!
Oh, is
when
that
you
when
caught the piranha or the shark, it was ow!
I don't remember that. I do remember...
It was my favorite sound effect in the whole game, so I constantly get the piranhas and sharks just to hear it.
I do remember, however, breaking an inordinate number of spears on logs before I figured out what was going on. I was kind of a dumb kid.
Did you ever get to the point where you met the conquistador? And he took all your stuff?
I don't remember that. I need to go back and play this game again. It's probably on some Abandonware site. Yes! Oh man, I kind of want to play that on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I went back and played it just to relive some of the memories, and I'm like, wow, I forgot how bad this is, but this is also really fun.
I don't think I need any more sound effects. So going down the list, I have a battle theme, a victory theme, choose option, backup, scrolling, punch, take damage, damage magic, healing magic, buffing magic, debuffing magic, use item 1, and use item 2.
Mm-hmm, sounds about right.
Is there anything else I could possibly need here?
Nothing's coming to mind.
Okay. All right then. What else do I need? I need graphics for all of the. So I can actually check off the hit spark graphic because we have that now.
Yep.
Probably move that down here with everything else. And above that, I can put all of the other things I need to build, which is enemy hit spark, which, truth be told, I can probably just color the one you sent me red.
Yep.
Damage magic hit spark. Healing magic. Icon. No, not icon. Particle.
Mm.
Ooh,
What?
I actually need both a particle and an icon for the buff. Because I want the buff to actually we could put it next to the character's name or something to give you quick access, you know at a glance, so this character is currently under this effect type of thing.
Okay.
Hey, Nappa! How you doing, buddy? Long time no see. We're developing a video game here. It hasn't come along very far, as you can see, but... Pre-alpha, placeholder assets. Basically creating a whiteboard right now of all of the things we need to get all of the placeholder assets we need to get a combat engine off the ground here.
Yep.
Every Wednesday we meet back here and do this, so... and every 30 minutes I stretch out my spine to make sure it doesn't turn to powder by the time I'm 32.
Is that next year or the year after? I'm confused.
The year
I
after.
have no idea how old you are.
I'm 30 years old. I am in fact Never mind.
Huh?
I have a bad habit of making fun. This is something that goes back to when I was a kid. I had a really bad habit of making fun of myself because it made people around me laugh. And just intentionally degrading myself because I thought it made other people happy. It had a bad effect on my mental state there for a while, but...
Yeah, I'm trying to get Coops to break that habit because he has it too.
Nappa, unfortunately, most of the characters in the game are female. And I don't know if I'm going to have the budget for a voice cast anyway, but I will keep that offer in mind. If the time comes, I will ask for a demo reel. Let's see here. I'll probably list that through something like CCC or VAC, something like that, the Voice Acting Club. What does CCC stand for again? Screw it.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. Oh wait, that's CCR. Never mind.
Casting Call Club. That's it. Casting Call Club. I'm in their Discord. I could check really easily.
Oh.
Alright, what do we have next? Healing Magic Particle, Buffing Magic Icon, Buffing Magic Particle. And also the Debuffing Magic Icon and Particle. And what else? Do we actually need a picture for what the item's gonna be? Probably.
I mean, probably. I mean, it's one of the things that always disappointed me in games was when they didn't bother to do that.
What?
Have an item, a picture, like just have a name for the item. There's no actual icon to go with it.
Yeah, I kind of like that too when games do that.
It just brings another level of life to
Polish.
the game. Yeah, polish.
Yeah, let's see here. Didn't Paper Mario do that? Where you opened
they
up your
did.
inventory and you could see icons for all of the little consumables?
Yes, and each one was different.
See, I think that's
awesome.
Super Paper Mario. Where are
No,
the...
no, it's the original.
I'm trying to find a sprite sheet that has all of them.
Ah.
Oh man. It's so fun to go through sprite sheets, dude.
Isn't it?
Just like, there's something very satisfying about isolating all of those pictures and being like, this is mine now. I could use it in something if I wanted. I made this. Okay, so anything else we could possibly need here? I think that's... oh, right, I need item effects as well. Item 1 and 2 particles. So this list right here of everything that I need to draw and put into the game, this is all pre-alpha stuff. This is just the foundation we need to set so that I have the resources to start creating a gameplay loop. Also, wait a second. Does the boss need a health bar? No, we don't have the scan ability in the game yet. So we don't need to worry about that at the moment. But I think that's everything. I'm gonna try to be better about my homework this time around, because I think my homework is gonna be actually putting all of these icons and items and different things together, and then plugging them into the game and showing them off next time we meet. But until that point, I think it's close enough to 10 p.m. Even though we got a late start today, I'm getting really sore in this chair here, so I think I'm going to call the stream for tonight. But don't go anywhere quite yet. We do have a couple traditions. For instance, I have to roll a d20 to see if something amazing happens. We got a 9. The respectable 9. Not quite over 10, but darn it, he's trying. And we don't have enough people here for a raid, so I must say thank you all for coming tonight. It's been a blast. Thank you to my co-hosts,
Hello.
Icicle C Cold, Ice Cold Koopa, as well as Potate, who was here a lot earlier in the show. Thank you all for suggesting ideas and chatting and being a part of this. And please join us again on Saturday, when I think I'm just gonna have a really chill stream. I think maybe we'll play some Amazon Trail. Either that or Slay the Spire, something like that. I'll tell you
Nice and relaxing.
I'll tell you what new release I'm not gonna be playing. But until then, I am Whatthefnu. Later, everybody.
I love you.